I'm doing the opposite now, where I'm running the amp a little bit lower and then boosting the fucking preamps up, so the microphones are actually louder, and then you're actually able to kind of get the head to respond a little, especially for like some riffage stuff or like even like some of the bigger chugs. Because it's not blasting so much, you're like getting more of like this like kind of concentrated tone.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes
instead of hot fizz,
the super loudness, there's just this weird breakup. And I feel like this time around it'll definitely serve the tone a little bit better that way.
One thing that stood out was like I don't think we blended amps on the last time I was there.
I think we did Friedman first time, right?
Yeah, because I set up 2 cabinets, I think, and I was doing like slightly different tones for each different gain stage. And this time, I think we kind of just played with the amp like as much as possible, like during each section. I didn't really like do different heads every single time. Because you can even see like my master is like not even like on fucking 3 or 4. It's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
And even on the Soldano too, like I'm only running it up to 3.
This is a loud amp though, that Friedman.
Oh yeah,
it's like because I also have a Bad Cat and a Link and a EVH now.
Yeah,
and like this thing just like
it's absolute. I'll go for Nick's Bad Cat too.
Blasting, throwing out garbage. Come on, I gotta take a piss.
We also would like quad track a riff with both the Friedman and the Soldano.
Right.
I think. Yep. And or sometimes even throwing like another one that was like the Soldano with the
HM2 or like crazy saturation. Yeah, that definitely made like some of those moments a little more like impactful and just a little more aggressive and stuff. And especially some of those parts you have on this new record is just really, really sick.
Yeah, it's loud, right?
It's like different.
I like it. I think I'm playing humbucker.
I'm with you. Yep.
We used one guitar to track this whole thing.
Anderson Guitars. Just a mere $5,400.
Is that all it takes to be good at guitar?
Pretty much any opportunity we had to switch up like the pickup configuration, we did it. And that guitar was perfect for that too, because it had hum single, the humbucker with the coil tap. So we had like single, like bridge single coil only, bridge in middle, neck.
In the back of this neck, like just so nice.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than roasted maple, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do a rosewood neck too.
Oh.
So it's a rosewood fretboard, rosewood neck, just all around. Just it's awesome. It's got like, yeah, it's pretty cool. This guy Northern Felipe something, he's got like a white body with rosewood fingerboard and neck. It's just so nice. Yeah, guitars are dangerous, dude. It's like you totally don't need like 6 guitars, but it just never feels like enough.
I mean, you can make the argument that because you could have floating bridge, fixed bridge. You could have 6 string, 7 string, 8 string.
Yeah, and you get different energy from different guitars. Like,
definitely do.
Yeah.
And listen to us talking, trying to.
Yeah, we're back. I'm back.
We didn't really mix it up too much on an individual song. Like once we made up our mind that this was going to be like the single coil song or this was going to be the humbucker song, we pretty much stuck to it. But it is fun to go through the album and like hear how the guitar gets a little bit bitier on certain parts.
I could also not necessarily do all of it since it's the same thing over and over.
You're gonna get bored after 30
Oh,
minutes.
I'm gonna fucking hate all of this. Just capture it all day. I'm gonna have to review this too. I'm gonna blow my brains out.
Dude, that's gonna be a lot. You're basically gonna have to relive 5 days.
Oh yeah.
Not the big block before this. Over here, a little bit further. Yeah, that last. Are they all just like whacking it? Where? Yeah, they're all whacking it.
That was awesome. I always have the most fun with that sort of thing because I feel like a lot of people just don't appreciate the actual instrument that they're using or have the knowledge of like what they're using, because it's important to do that, especially with the parts too. It's like you want to play it and you got to hear it in different types of settings on the guitar. It could sound a little softer, or it could sound bitier, or it could kind of get more of that like hollowish tone. If you don't mess around, then you're never gonna know what's happening. We did more neck pickups on a couple of songs that I thought like, oh my god, I don't think I would ever do that. But for whatever reason, your guitar, like, it worked really well with the tones that we were getting, and it just happened to work out perfectly.
Do you have an Ebo by any chance?
Dude, someone fucking stole my Ebo 2 years ago.
I thought about bringing mine and I didn't, but
I've never used one.
really, it's pretty powerful.
This thing you just kind of hold, right?
How does it work?
It's got magnets in it. Yes, it vibrates the string, definitely.
You know that?
On the guitar solo for Kaleidoscope Dreams, I was using this Bad Cat. I had one output going to my Mesa cab in my closet, and I mic'd that, and I had another output going into my load box. The final output was a combination of what I captured on the mic mixed with the cab sim that I got from the load box. No matter what I did, whether if I tried saying, you know what, maybe this will just sound better with the cab sim, or maybe this will sound better just with the mic, I couldn't get it to sound as good as when I mixed the two together. And you know, that was just totally by accident. I didn't think like, oh, let me do something where I'm mixing, you know, a digital thing and a real thing. Like that's just kind of the way it landed.
What are you doing?
Dude, I do that in
What the fuck is going on?
Oh, it's your fit, I think.
Oh, you're right. Weird. Like that, right?
Yeah.
Forgot what I'm playing here. Because it's just a big F major.
I really like the stuff that you did just because, I mean, the amount of music that me and Anthony hear week to week or over the years, most things start to just kind of blend into like, all right, this band sounds like those 5 other bands, or this is, you know, they're doing the pop thing or the kill switch thing or whatever you want to call it. But this was like, people were asking me, like, they come in the room like, what the fuck is this? Who is this? They're like, I've never heard anything like this. I'm like, yeah, me neither. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to get this mix to be, you know, as balanced and just kind of serve the music. When you hear the mix, you hear the song first, and like, what I do doesn't get in the way of the music. It's like kind of, you could ignore it because you're just hearing the song. Like if you put a song on and all of a sudden your first thoughts, wait, what the fuck's happening? Or, you know, what's going on? Then like I lost, you know. I don't try to put what I do over somebody's art.
Omar, I want this documentary to be like noir style, like black and white with no audio and like only like old school captions of what's going on.
The beginning of My Pet Rock Ran Away, we like just made an arbitrary sound on your computer, like a, and then we ran it through this and then just like tore it to shreds pretty much.
What I'm envisioning for the beginning here is like, eventually this thing comes in, right? The do bow 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 bow. But when it actually happens, I want the listener to think, oh, that's what that was going into. Like, it's got to resemble it from the get-go. Like, maybe we feed a signal of just the that's it, and we just fuck with looping that 1/2 a second of a sound, and then make it explode, and then eventually it all chops, and then the song starts. People message me like, John Petrucci told me to read this book or try this pick. Like, what do you think? Like, I have no idea. I literally can't name you one Dream Theater song. If I had to guess, there's one called Eternal Dance.
Let's check out.
Sweet. What is this?
That is one of the sickest pedals I've ever used.
Aqueduct. Is it like a chorus?
It's like it does chorus stuff and tremolo stuff, and it kind of does
square wave
sound generation too.
Interesting.
So
I'm looking for something to like double with my lead tone.
Oh yeah,
Like to cut, like, because I have like a very fusiony Holdsworth lead sound, but I thought it'd be cool to like cut it with something where someone will be like, is he layering that with something else? That might be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
He won't mind me saying this because you said it right to him. You were like, you told me your friend was coming through to like, help with the album, and he makes lots of cool sounds, and the dude shows up with one pedal.
When he hit me up about this interview, he's like, yeah, my friend's just going to call me. He's like, really, they're like making weird sounds. One pedal. I was never into the whole HM2 thing for a little while just because I just thought it was like the most ridiculous thing ever. And our buddy comes in, he's like, yeah, we're going to use this pedal, and it's just like a Behringer pink fucking HM2 pedal. And like immediately I was like, get the fuck out of here. No way. Once Ray like got a tone dialed in with blending it with the actual guitar tones, I was like, oh my God, why the fuck have I not been doing this forever? I think there might have been a couple of quad parts where I snuck a little bit of that in on the record, and especially with the POG and a little HM2, and it just makes the parts, like, especially the breakdowns, just more intense and fun, The entrance to that?
Yeah.
Cool.
I gotta do somewhere halfway in the back. I think we're losing a little life on in those cuts.
Oh, just like on the hard cuts?
Yeah.
They could just be a little bit longer.
Yeah. I think I like the way I tracked this melody. I can probably redo that.
I mean, this is the kind of background that I think makes like listening to an album more fun. Like knowing that a particular part was recorded with a certain pedal and mixed with 2 amps, and like, maybe an HM2 was hidden somewhere that gave it the extra bite. Like I find that stuff a lot of fun.
I just don't think we're getting the build-up that I'm thinking. It's just kind of chaos right from the get-go.
We did get the build up the first time that we were fucking with it. There was like a moment where everything.
You mean when?
broke,
You mean like
way in the front over here? The first time we.
Then
did
maybe
one
let's just check out what we did in the beginning.
I don't think mixing was I don't think I was too bad, right?
They were great. You had a couple moments where you were just like, I don't know if I'm being a pain in the ass. And I'm like, nah, you're fine.
You're one of the easiest people to work with, man.
The mixing process was fun for me. It took me a while to dial it in just to get the drums right, because we had trying to have a conversation about like the heavy parts got to sound heavy and the lighter parts have to be a little bit more natural and kind of jazz focused. So it took me a while to dial it in. Like before I even showed you, I was on like mix 4 or something of each track, just like experimenting with different sounds and techniques just to get it to impact. I think Cacti was definitely challenging just to get like all the drum, like the intricate parts to come through without it sounding like unclear, you know, anything like that. Just like different snare sounds. There's like a bunch of snare tracks on that. Just getting each part to have its own vibe. I wanted that beginning to like, as soon as you hit it, just go, oh, ow, you know, trying a bunch of weird stuff, especially drum-wise. Yeah, I was sending you mixes. I was like, yeah, the drum lo-fi thing is pretty weird. See if you like it. And he like texted me back like, I think so. I think it's cool. We'll find out tomorrow. I was just throwing shit at the wall and just kind of whatever I was feeling at the time, just to try to make things like even more, you know, interesting and chaotic than they already were. But some of it worked.
This feels like so much more of a metal song than my demo.
Uh-huh. I love that pickup for this.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Let's do it.
Trick is going to be remembering all these configurations.
Yeah,
and
right.
playing these songs live.
How's it feel to have camera in your face all day, every day?
I don't even notice it when we're recording and writing and stuff. I notice it now when there's no one around and I just have to stand here.
The overall like just composition of this record was just even more dialed in and of what you want and what you were going for, that all the blends of the different dynamics throughout each nuance into each part, like I think flowed even better than the first record. And it can be a very fine line between going into like, you know, a softer, jazzier part to like, you know, boom, intense stuff. You have to be mindful about like, okay, how are we really getting into this part composition wise? Because that all really affects the final mix. Whatever dynamic you're putting into the music, it's going to affect at the end of the day of what your product's going to be.
Yeah, of course.
This is now my third like solo album. The first one was totally DIY, did it at home, sent it to Adam Bentley to mix and master. Second one I did with you guys. This is now the third one. Something I've learned is that you have to get that first input to sound how you want it to be at the end of the day. There is wiggle room with making like a drum part sound lo-fi or a guitar sounding bigger. But like if you didn't get it right at the beginning, like if you didn't think about how to record those drums or how much reverb to put on a guitar sound, like as you were doing it, you're starting to deviate a little bit, and it's harder to correct the further you get along the way.
That's a big reason why we love using real heads. What you're getting at the top of your sound is most important. Again, you can manipulate things at the end in the mix, but like ultimately you're never really going to get to redo that first sound like it was at the very end of mixing. So it's like that's why I like that we spend more time on thinking about guitar pickups, thinking about how the tones are going to work, and then in the end, everything just, well, as soon as we gave it to him, it was like everything's just kind of sitting right.
Yeah, the guitars were dialed and sounded great, you know, from the very beginning.
That's sick though. That's a vibe.
Yeah, and I loved every bit of the process this time. I think because, you know, I'm a much bigger fan of like working on refining a process, like working with the same people and figuring something out and having like a similar lay of the land, as instead of being like, oh, this didn't go according to plan. Let me, you know. So this time it's like I felt like I had a rhythm with you guys. I knew how we were gonna do the guitar stuff. I knew, like, oh, okay, last time I think I want to bring in some of my own pedals so I can try capturing some of my own sound in the studio. Maybe, yeah, I mean, we definitely did some stuff differently from the last record, guitar wise.
This is almost a cheeky thing here.
That's sick. I like that.
Like
Are you talking about the walk-up, or are you talking about the...
the plugging the guitar back in thing.
I think it came out awesome. Everyone I've shown it to has like said hands down this is the best thing that I've worked on. And I couldn't have done it without you guys.